Hey everyone, and welcome back for those of you returning, and to those of you finding me for the first time, welcome to my channel. My name is Fran, and I like to play various games. At the moment it's Minecraft, but I also do plan on playing games like Stardew Valley, Coral Island, maybe The Sims if they ever sort the game out, and lots more. But if you're curious about where I'm going, maybe subscribe and follow along. Subscribing to me has a 0% rate of making you feel like doo-doo, and is completely reversible if you ever want to feel like doo-doo. So yeah, no pressure. You're here to watch some Minecraft, so let's get into that. Today I gather some animals for a farm, kidnap some villagers, and defend my base from some really mean guys. I hope you enjoy. Okay, I know what you're thinking. What the frick? This is so laggy and painful to watch. And yes, you are 100% right. I've watched it multiple times during editing, and most of the time I was unsure if it was my editing software that was lagging or the video itself. When I started playing, my plan was to start kidnapping villages, so jumped in the boat and set sail. On my way to the village, I came across a jungle biome with a single bamboo stalk in there, so thinking that would be useful for Fletcher trading further on, I made my way over. Fighting through the awful lag, I made my way up to the bamboo stalk, and as I came around the tree, I found both the bamboo stalk and a hidden jungle temple. This is super convenient and easy to get to, so I may make a project in here in the future. Cut down the bamboo and slowly made my way into the temple. I don't know how to figure out the code. I've never tried, to be honest, so I broke in, I stole a sticky piston and redstone, some mobby cobblestone and the dispensers. As well as 3 diamonds, 6 iron, and 2 wild armor trim smithing templates from the chests. Before leaving, I cut down a jungle tree so I could grow some saplings, and it took longer than I was hoping. But after securing the wood, I left to commit crimes of kidnapping. This plan was quickly halted as I found a pollinated bee struggling in the ocean. I leapt to action. I have a hive at home and I could nurse them back to health. All that pollen would go to waste and an innocent life would be quickly snuffed out if I did nothing. This was really difficult and I needed to act quick. The lag was making it so difficult and I was stressing, but I eventually succeeded. I took the exhausted bee home, where I carefully released it from the boat. And immediately it made itself at home in my hive. At this point the sun was setting, so I had to sleep for the night. After waking up, I left to retrieve the boat that I abandoned during the rescue mission, and while doing that I noticed another bee on shore where I rescued the first bee, and I thought, these 2 bees must have been hive mates. This one must be frantically searching for his bestest bee friend. The reason these bees yearn for the sea is that they have little flowers nearby, so they search and wander and get lost. He must be so worried. I wanted to reunite them. Maybe they'll start a family at my new hive where there are plenty of flowers. Again, after fighting the lag and meticulously extracting the bee from the boat, I gathered some roses, built a campfire, and waited until the rescued bee had regained some strength and left the hive for the day. I reunited them and gave them their roses, and they started their bee family in my hive. I couldn't be happier. Couldn't be happier. Get it? Because I said, okay, I'm sorry, I won't finish that. Anyway, I put down the campfire and planted the jungle sapling so they could start growing. I then proceeded to finish what I had started at the beginning of the video. To kidnap villagers. I made the 3-minute ride there, and by the time I had got there, it was getting pretty dark. So I ran into the closest house to jump into bed. But I'm pretty sure a dolphin stole my boat because it just disappeared after I broke it. So anyway, I ran to the house, and I was not expecting what I walked into. These farmers were riding it cowgirl style. There was a third peeping in from outside, and this was truly disturbing. I was shocked. I didn't have the time to think. I needed to sleep because I just needed to steal them and leave. So I broke them up and I stole their bed. And then they proceeded to violate me. And then the third that was outside came in to help finish the job. I was so flustered when I woke up. I threw my axe, followed one of the farmers who assaulted me outside. I was going to get my revenge. This farmer would be forced into trading with me out of a tiny hole, trapped for the rest of eternity, just for wronging me. I will force him to produce offspring, where I will trap them for eternity too. I will not be disrespected. Took this guy home, and I must have been pretty big to this point, or just seeing red and tunneled in on the next villager, because I didn't leave anything to trap this one. I just broke the boat, released him, and then turned around and left to kidnap the next farmer who assaulted me. This guy, though, was pulling tricky, extreme moves, like jump into composter and turn right, just to get away from my boat. I was persistent, though. Nobody treats a friend like this and gets away with it. Eventually I got him into the boat and drove onto the path, like a really smart person would, because that definitely does not stop boats from moving onto the grass. I was trying to go off the edge of a block so I could fall onto a lower grass block, but that didn't work out, so broke the boat and restarted. This time, breaking the path to make sure we wouldn't get stuck again. This attempt was much more successful. I stopped by an underwater ruined portal on the way home. And got a marvelous block of gold and some really nice finds in a chest. When I got back, I realized my first villager was running off into the woods. I had to stop him, but I didn't have a second boat, so I had to quickly make one of those. And set off to go rescue him. He was ducking and weaving, and I eventually found him and successfully brought him down with his accomplice, and at this point the sun was setting, so I had to quickly sleep again. The next morning, I started to build up the villager's home. I may be angry, but I'm not a monster. I'm not gonna leave them in the rain. If they catch a cold and die, I cannot make them emotionally suffer for the rest of time. I wanted to take a break and try some fishing. I'd been moving around a lot today and I was pretty ready to just stand still for a few seconds. This was pretty boring. This is an unedited clip. Probably gonna fish more later on, but I won't subject you guys to that whole 25 seconds of fishing just for a bite. After fishing, I noticed something moving out in the corner of my screen. The base was under attack from creepers. I ran to grab projectiles and went to town. These guys weren't aggroed on me and just kept wandering off. I got one of them, the other guy I'm pretty sure just left. I'm definitely going to be removing the foliage along the cliffs because there's lots of places for things to spawn, and creepers are the worst of all of them because they don't despawn for a very long time. After clearing those guys away, I went to work on my wheat farm, as I need bread to breed up my villagers and for myself, so I swam over. And as I looked over to where I just came from, it appears again we were under attack, and this time from a pillager group. I thought for a second, I harvested and replanted my wheat. And thought some more. I thought really super hard about this, and I finally came to a decision. So my plan was to run around the edge of the cliff so I was behind them and then just wait for them to leave. So that's what I did. I waited behind them and I watched, and thinking I needed a better vantage point, I climbed atop a tree to get a better view, and I watched some more. A lot of time passed and these hooligans were not leaving. I had enough and ran down to forcefully exit them from my area. I placed the banner up the next morning to let others know they are not welcome here. I harvested my first honeycomb for my bee family, and it went missing. Searched around and double-checked my inventory, and then I noticed it floating in the right-hand corner of my screen. It flew across the ocean, and all I thought is that the wind must have been really super strong that day. My next project was to find some animals, and the most important being sheep, as I want a rainbow wool farm, and then cows and pigs if I can find some. During my search, I found some white dye, which would be useful if I found some multicolored sheep, and so with wheat and fences in hand, I continued to look when I found some cowies. I lured them back to the base and started placing fences. I returned to look for the sheep and stumbled across another jungle biome, and here I found some cocoa beans, which I definitely took. And then I saw some white just off in the distance. Sheep! By the time I got these guys back, it was getting really dark, and now a zombie had joined the flock that was following me. I dropped them into the fence area and tried to escape, and this went really roughly to say the least. But I got it sorted out, and after killing the first zombie, a second showed up as reinforcements, obviously. I quickly tried to place a fence so my animals couldn't follow me and was immediately attacked. I dealt with this guy and decided I had had enough and it was time to sleep. I was attacked again on my way back into the base because I live in Drowned Cove, apparently. 2 spawned in and 1 with a trident, and this is becoming all too much for me tonight. I persisted on and just tried to get to bed, and I finally made it back. But the fight still wasn't over as this asshole had just spawned into my villager's house. This night just needed to end. The next morning, I returned to finish the drowns off outside with a pretty badly beaten shield, and then being pretty deep in the ocean, I was definitely at a disadvantage. I should have eaten as my hearts weren't restoring health. This was a bad situation to be in, and because I didn't think at all, I just went in. My shield did break, and I had to retreat to make another. This brought the trident guy up and closer to the surface and gave me time to restore my health. And then I returned to battle and hoping for the trident job. I sadly was not lucky. I returned to the prisoners and started feeding them in hopes of them making a couple more of themselves. Initially, I fed them 11 bread. I will put up a bread counter in the top left-hand corner because they scam me. I swear to God, it's a complete rip-off. I rearranged their sleeping quarters, hoping that would help. I made a hole to enter and placed my bed on the other side of the hole, thinking they would count it and breed babies because they can fit through the gap, but I guess I was incorrect. So I give them more beds later on in the next video. You'll see that. Next, I wanted to build an auto smeltery. This area will eventually be filled with chests, but for now it's perfect for smelting large amounts of items. So cue the footage of me building my smelting area. I also wanted to start my auto sugarcane farm, and then I could get paper and sugar for my various purposes. I eventually play around with different collection methods, but this is what I settle on for now. And I realize I built it wrong in the beginning, but I noticed my mistake later on, and I don't look this up before making it. I just build these from memory because they're so easy to make, so every now and then I do make a mistake. There you go, figured it out. So I stripped it down and rebuilt it 1 block higher. Fed up my animals and swapped a couple blast furnaces out for smokers. Also added a few bamboo stalks so I could start trading for sticks. For now I just have a hopper minecart that runs under the block of dirt to collect the remaining items that are sitting on top. But I do change this and remove the water. I put a minecart below and put it into a constant state of motion so I don't have to activate it to collect it. I also grabbed more pistons and observers to create a symmetrical auto collector farm on the opposite side with bamboo instead of sugarcane. Eventually, after still no babies, I gave the villagers all of my roasted potatoes. They do eventually pick those up in the morning. Then I thought I'd end off the day with some more fishing. Again, I'll set up a timer and we'll see how long this takes. Yep, took almost half a minute. I continue fishing after this, but I won't put the rest of that footage in as it takes a while, but it collects some pretty nice items. So if you do want to see that in the next video, let me know and I will put that in. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you giving me some of your precious time. Really hope you enjoyed. I post every week on Tuesdays, usually in the afternoon, sometimes in the evening, like this video probably is. If you like this video, consider giving me a thumbs up or even subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thanks again to you. Take care and stay safe out there. Bye.